If you're constantly feeling like you are behind in your PhD, if you have thoughts like, I should have finished this paper months ago, or I should have already figured that thing out, or this should already be done, and so on, this video is for you. So today I want to talk about the fact of this constant feeling of being late in academia, in research, and that sense of urgency that is always somewhere here at the back of our heads and doesn't allow us to do research in calm, in peace, and it doesn't allow us to unlock that creativity that is an essential part of the research process. So I feel that every single person who has ever done science, ever done research, has felt this feeling of being late, being behind, comparing yourself to other people who are maybe publishing more, in a better situation for whatever reason, and so on. So I want to say that this typically happens because we are not aware of the work that we are doing. And when I say not aware, I was completely guilty of that as well during my PhD, because I was also always feeling behind. But at some point I started thinking a little bit like, what is it that I am actually behind? Like, how am I behind? What am I comparing myself to? Who am I comparing myself to? And the answer for me was simply because I couldn't sense the work. And the problem is that in academia and in research in general, you can put in hours and hours, weeks or months of work and not have anything in return, not have anything tangible to prove that you actually did the work. So when this happens, until up to the very, very last stage when you maybe have a paper published or a thesis published and so on, defend a thesis and so on. But how do we achieve that things before all of those things happen? How do we make sure that we do not feel that we are aware of the work that we are doing even before that big publication or thesis defense happens? And the great strategy that I always suggest my clients to do is to make sure that your work doesn't live here, that your work is out there. That means that writing up your thoughts, something as simple as writing a conclusion or writing a thought about an experiment, writing a thought about an analysis, putting together a plot or a graph that you can then use to show your supervisor. All of those things are something that are showing us making our work visible. Because if we do not do those things, it feels like we are doing nothing, and we are not doing nothing. We are putting in a lot of effort. So you might as well show your brain that effort. And as I said, sometimes it's going to be like a summary of the week. What is it that worked? What is it that didn't work, and why? Reading some papers, like all those things that are completable and achievable. Because that invisible work that we do, oh, what did you do today? Nothing, I just read 3 papers. Like, this is not nothing. And you should put it on your to-do list so you can have the satisfaction of crossing it off your to-do list because it is something that you did. The other thing that helps a lot is also bringing structure to your work, because sometimes we open all of those research questions as we go and we never close anything, so we feel that we are going nowhere, like we are running in circles. But actually, when we stop and think about it and say, okay, what are the results that I have? What are the things that I already have? How can I make sense of all of that? Then it's when it materializes, it feels real. And this is exactly what I help PhD students with. So I coach PhD students throughout their research process, whether it is making sense of the data, brainstorming with them, finding out what is the next steps that they need to take in their research, how to structure it all together so they can put it into a thesis, into a paper, or in a conference talk. So if you are in this fog right now, if you are feeling that you are constantly behind with your PhD, if you feel that you're doing the work but you have nothing to show for it, nothing to prove for it, I want to invite you to schedule a completely free intro coaching call with me. I will leave a link down below in the description where you can schedule it. And in that call, we can discuss exactly where you're at with your research, what are some tangible, actionable next steps that you can take, whether on your own or with my help, see what are your current challenges, your struggles, and of course, see how you can put it together into something structured, coherent, cohesive, maybe a thesis, maybe a paper, maybe just make sense of your research so you can see where is it going. So having said that, thank you for watching this video, and as always, see you in the next few days with another video. Bye bye.